Have you ever missed a deadline in your business? Maybe it was taxes, payroll, or just reviewing your financials. And then suddenly you're dealing with late fees, penalties, and just unnecessary stress. This isn't because you don't care, it's because you lack having a system. And that's where an accounting calendar comes into play. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe, a licensed certified public accountant with over 15 years experience in corporate and public accounting. I have an extensive background in accounting, audit, and taxes, and I'm all about helping you take control of your money by living smarter. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on all notifications. And check out the blog site where we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today, we're talking about how and when to use an accounting calendar. This is one of the most simplest tools you can use to stay organized, avoid missed deadlines, and keep your business running smoothly. By the end of this video, you'll know what an accounting calendar is, what to include in it, and how to actually use it in real life. An accounting calendar is exactly what it sounds like. An accounting calendar is a schedule of all your important financial tasks and deadlines. Instead of trying to remember everything in your head, you map it out in advance. This includes things like monthly bookkeeping, payroll dates, tax deadlines, and bill payments. It turns your financial responsibilities into a system. In my experience, I see a lot of small business owners act reactively instead of proactively when it comes to their small business financials. Most small business owners deal with things when they come up instead of planning ahead. That leads to missed deadlines, last minute stress, and poor financial visibility. An accounting calendar flips that. It helps you to stay ahead of deadlines, plan your cash flow appropriately, reduce your own stress, and it helps you to stay consistent with your financials in your business. So, what actually goes into an accounting calendar? Let's break it down. The first thing that you're going to want to put into your accounting calendar is your monthly tasks. This include items such as your bank reconciliations, reviewing transactions as the owner, and generating those monthly financial reports, whether that's your balance sheet, your P&L, or your cash flow statements. These monthly tasks are things that are going to be done every month, regardless of what's going on in your business. And they're those small tasks that lead into bigger tasks. Next, we're going to want to add all of those quarterly tasks. These are tasks that are done quarterly, so that's every 3 months within the year. They're not something that needs to be done monthly, but every 3 months, these tasks need to be completed. And that's going to be estimating any tax payments, whether you're doing your payroll taxes or if you need to make payments to the IRS from your business for those estimated quarterly payments. And then you're going to want to do a financial review. You're going to want to see how you did in Q1 versus how you did in Q2 versus maybe how you did in Q3 or Q4. These are where you're going to take all 3 months of information and data and see where you at financially. What does revenue look like? Where are our expenses at so far in this quarter? And where do we need to make those adjustments? And then you're going to do your business performance check-ins. And these are tied right in to your financial performance review. You're going to look at maybe we need to invest in machinery because sales are up. Maybe we need to close one revenue stream because it's not performing as well, or maybe even promote it a little more within our marketing expense. These are those quarterly tasks that aren't going to be done monthly, but every 3 months you're going to check back in to see where you at with them. Next on the list are going to be those annual tasks. These are those tasks that we're only going to do once a year. And this includes our tax filing deadline. So we're going to see, depending on how our business is set up, when do we have to file those business taxes? Is it going to be in March or is it going to be in April? Or maybe it's not even due then. Maybe it's due in June or maybe October. Depending on how your business or your nonprofit set up will determine when those tax filing deadlines will be due. And then we're going to do our year-end bookkeeping, depending on how your year-end is set up. If you're June 30th, maybe you're October 30th, maybe you're September 30th, or maybe you're December 31. year end. So we're going to do our year end bookkeeping. This means closing out the books at the end of the year and figuring out how did we do. We're going to do basically a recap of what did we do this year and close out our books. And then finally, we're going to issue forms like 1099s. These are for all those contractors that we may have hired during the year who made $600 or more that we're legally responsible for giving them a 1099. These are, like I said, these are those annual tasks that we're going to do at the end of the year in order to make sure that we don't miss any key deadlines. And lastly, we're going to set up those ongoing tasks. These are tasks that may not be monthly, they may not be quarterly, they may not be annually, but maybe they're daily, maybe they're weekly. However they look, maybe they're bi-weekly. However they look, we want to make sure we include these ongoing tasks that we have. That could be setting up payroll. Maybe for your business, you set where employees are paid weekly, so this is a weekly task. Or maybe your payroll is bi-weekly, so maybe you set it up bi-weekly. Bill payments. How are our bills due? Are they due on the 15th of every month? Are they due on the 30th? Maybe they're due somewhere in between, but we want to set up those ongoing tasks where we know when we need to make those payments so we can check in on our cash flow to see where we're at. And then lastly, invoicing. How are we getting our invoices out to the client? And most importantly, how are we getting paid and when do we expect payment? We have to set up those tasks of when we know when we need to invoice, when we need to send reminders, and when we can expect payment from our clients. This also helps with our cash flow and understanding it. Remember, the goal is to capture everything that impacts your finances within your business. Now, let's talk about how to set up the accounting calendar for your business. You don't need anything fancy here. You can simply use Google Calendar, which is one of my favorites, Outlook, a physical planner, or an accounting software that has reminders within it. Remember, you're going to start by doing these three tasks. Number one, list all of your financial tasks, even the ones that seem small. For instance, let's talk about payroll. You want to list the tasks of when does payroll actually close. This is the one thing that catches a lot of small business owners off guard. And when we say when does payroll close, that means when do employees need to have all of their timesheets or their payroll card in by. Number two, you're going to assign due dates to those tasks. So one of those tasks that we talked about just now was payroll. So if payroll closes, let's say every Wednesday, then the due date that we want to assign is maybe Tuesday as a reminder. So that way we're setting ourselves up ahead of time so that we can remind our employees, hey, be sure you get your payroll cards in on time. And in task number three, I got a little bit ahead of myself, is setting reminders ahead of time. Like we said, maybe the reminder for you to remind the employees is a day or two ahead. And then that way the employees know to get their time in if they want to get paid on time. Remember, the biggest thing here is to keep it simple. The tool that you use doesn't really matter, but what does matter is consistency. The key to making this work is using it regularly. At a minimum, you want to use three different check ins. A weekly check in, which is just a quick check in to see what's going on and to make sure everything is still running smoothly. The next check in is going to be monthly. This is going to be a full bookkeeping review. You're going to see what worked, what didn't work, and what's going on within your business. And then third, you're going to want to do a quarterly. This is more of a deeper dive than the monthly and the weekly dive. This is going to see where your tax and performance of your business really did. Think of it like a routine. If it's not scheduled, it usually doesn't get done. Let's talk about where people go wrong. There's three common mistakes or four common mistakes I normally see business people go wrong when it comes to setting up an accounting calendar or just in general in business. Mistake number one is they set it up once and then they ignore it. A calendar only works if you actually use it. Mistake number two I often see is overcomplicating it. They put too many tasks and it becomes overwhelming and no action actually happens. There's a good quote where it says that sometimes being busy doesn't always mean being productive. So that's why I say stop and be more consistent and keep it simple. Mistake number three is there's no reminders. If it's not in front of you, a lot of times business owners will forget about it. And mistake number four is waiting until the deadlines. The goal is to stay ahead, not catch up. This goes back to what I was telling you earlier, where I see a lot of business owners are more reactive than they are proactive. So setting those deadlines helps them to stay ahead. When you use an accounting calendar, things change. As a business owner, you'll start to notice that you'll stop missing deadlines. It'll reduce your stress. It'll help you to stay organized within your business finances, and it helps you as a business owner to make better, deeper, and more informed financial decisions. And most importantly, it helps you to move from being a reactive in your business to actually managing it. If you're starting from scratch, here's what I recommend. Start with just these three simple things. Number one, monthly bookkeeping review. This will get you into the habit of monthly having that deadline or having that set reminder to review your bookkeeping. Number two is setting your quarterly tax reminders. This will get you into a good habit of quarterly reviewing not only your taxes, but you'll probably end up reviewing your financials as a whole. And number three, your annual tax deadline. This will help you not only look at the tax deadline, but also to review how your business did. And that's it. Once that becomes a habit, you can build from there. Trust me, starting with these three simple points, a monthly bookkeeping review, a quarterly tax reminder, and your annual tax deadline, this will help you to fill in the blanks from there. And everything else will become a good habit in order to help you with your accounting calendar. At the end of the day, an accounting calendar isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Because the more structured your system is, the less stressful your finances become. And that's why every business owner wants. And that's what every business owner wants. At the end of the day, an accounting calendar isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Because the more structured your system is, the less stressful your finances become. And that's what every business owner wants. If this video helped you out, be sure to hit the like button and comment system below if you need help setting up your accounting calendar. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next week where we're going to talk about how to manage petty cash.